Hey guys, my name is Gabby. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be doing my July book haul. And yeah, there are quite a few books to get through, so let's just jump right into it. First 5 books that I got this month all came from Book of the Month because they sponsored a video in July, so huge thank you to Book of the Month for that. The first book that I wanted to tell you about is Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia. This is one that I actually read this month, and this is, as far as I know, one of the first or the first horror Book of the Month selection that I've ever seen on Book of the Month, so I'm very stoked about this. And this one is a historical fiction kind of gothic horror because it takes place in the 1950s in Mexico, and it kind of like has this spooky haunted house vibe the entire time, and it just made for a very fun read. So I did read this one this month. It was included in my reading 3 new horror books vlog, so if you missed that, I will link it down below. I also read The Shadows by Alex North. This is another selection for the month. This one's a new adult thriller, and this one definitely has some like spooky horror vibes to it as well. I did read this one for the video that I did of reading some of my thriller arcs because I had an art copy of this book as well, and this one was so much fun to read. Like, it was genuinely so spooky and like Slender Man vibes. And then the other 3 books that I really wanted to get to but didn't have time to get to is Head Over Heels by Hannah Orenstein. This one's like a cute Olympic athlete sports romance kind of book. It's about this girl who used to be a gymnast and now she's like coming back, and then this guy is like her coach, and then I think it's like a romance between them. This one does sound really cute, and I do want to get to it eventually, but I just haven't really been in much of a romance mood lately. And then this one, The Beauty in Breaking by Michelle Harper. I actually put the audiobook on hold for this one at my library because I love to listen to nonfiction audiobooks. So this one is a nonfiction book, and it is about this black woman who is an ER doctor, and she's kind of talking about how difficult it can be to be a black woman in a field that's mostly dominated by white men. I'm hoping that the audiobook will get checked out to me sometime in August so I can finally read this one. And then the last one is Big Friendship, and this one's also a nonfiction book. This one has 2 authors, and this one is talking about how like friendship can be so strong and how friendship can get you through the toughest times, and it sounds really beautiful. One book that I'm like hella excited about is The Brightlands. John Fram, this author, reached out to me on Instagram and he asked if I would like a copy of this book to review, and I was like, hell to the yes. And this book, if you didn't know, it's a new like horror kind of thriller book, and it follows this gay man named Joel. It's about how he has to come back to his small conservative town in Texas that he grew up in because his younger brother goes missing, and his younger brother is like the star football player. And this book has a lot of like small town vibes, but it's also very spooky, and we follow a lot of different points of views. And I read this book this month. I read it during the reading rush. I loved it so much, and you'll hear more about this in my wrap up, but I'm so excited that John Fram sent me this book this month. Like, huge thank you, because new favorite, 5 out of 5, amazing. And then I want to say a huge thank you to Source Books for sending me 6 freaking books. First one that I want to tell you about that I'm the most excited about is Boyfriend Material by Alexis Hall. I actually did end up reading this one this month. I listened to the audiobook through Libro, and this one was a totally fun time. It has a lot of like red, white, and royal blue kind of vibes because they both are kind of like in the eye of the media, and it involves some fake dating and just many of the tropes that I love, so you'll hear more about this one in my wrap up as well. They also sent me The Perfect Escape by Susan Park, If We Were Us, 4 Days of You and Me, and then they sent double copies of Conventionally Yours and The Tourist Attraction because I had already been sent these 2 books, but I still haven't gotten around to reading these 2 books yet. I do have this one currently on hold at the library for the audiobook as well, so I'm hoping when I get the audiobook I can like partially read this and then partially listen to the audiobook and help me get through it that way, because this one is pretty thick. But Conventionally Yours is one that I still really want to get to as well because it's like a cute gay romance. It's like at a convention, you know, at a con thing, and it has a road trip. I don't know, it sounds like something I'm really gonna enjoy, so I do want to get to this one eventually. And then I wanted to say a huge thank you to Let's Talk YA and Big Honcho Media for sending me a copy of The Voting Booth by Brandy Colbert, and this one is like a young adult contemporary novel, but it sounds like it's gonna be really important and really relevant It's perfect for fans of The Sun Is Also a Star and The Hate You Give. And this one is a book that just kind of talks about the importance of voting and how the world can't change unless you vote. It sounds really good and really cute, and I'm really excited to read this, and I have the audiobook from Libro for this one as well, so I'm hoping to get to this one very soon. And then Harper Teen and HarperCollins sent me a copy of The Falling in Love montage by Sierra Smith, and this is one that I'm like super excited about because it's a young adult romance and it's female romance. So it's about these two girls who decide to date only for the summer because they don't want any commitment further than that, because one of the girls is concerned that she might develop early onset dementia because her mom has that, and her mom doesn't even like remember who she is. So it just sounds like it's gonna be this beautiful like I can't wait to read this one. It looks so cute. Look at that cover. Like, this cover is summertime. So hopefully I can actually get around to this in August before the end of summer. And then I received this ARC from Avid Reader Press that I was not expecting, and it's called Group by Christy Tate, and it says how one therapist and a circle of strangers saved my life. And it's kind of this like non-fiction book about group therapy. It says, in this debut memoir, you'll take a front row seat to the daring, exhilarating, painful, and hilarious journey that is group therapy, an underexplored process that breaks you down and then reassembles you so that all of the pieces finally fit. And this one's coming out in October, on October 6th. And then the last two books that I got this month, I purchased myself. I got The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley, and this one is an adult thriller. I did read this one during the reading rush, and I was expecting to love it just like I loved The Guest List, but I'm kind of sad to say that I didn't really enjoy this one as much as The Guest List, but I still had a good time reading this one. You'll hear more about it in my wrap-up. Then I also read Survivor Song by Paul Tremblay, and this one was a freaking massive, huge disappointment, and I'm mad that I spent so much money on this new hardcover book, but whatever, it's fine. But this book was also included in my reading 3 new horror books video that I did earlier this month, so if you missed that, it will be linked down below to see. But yeah, this one was massively disappointing. I thought it would be the shit, and it wasn't. Alright, so those are all of the books that I hauled in the month of July. And yeah, I feel like July has been a very busy reading month for me. I feel like I've maybe read the most this month than I have all year long. Like, I've just been reading like non-stop. I know that's kind of surprising considering I didn't do so well in the reading rush this year, but I think it's because I burnt myself out this whole month, and then by the time I got to the reading rush, I was just like, I don't want to read anymore. But yeah, if you've read any of these books, then please let me know what your thoughts are on them. And I also have a very exciting announcement about something coming out on July 30th that you can look forward to, so stay tuned for that. That is all for today's video, so thank you guys so much for watching as always, and I will see you very soon with a new video. Bye.